want to start off by saying, yes, this is the face and tits of Jay Longbone, me. I'm new at this reviewing thing, so you're gonna have to forgive me if this contains no intelligence or coherence whatsoever. Just focus on these if you get confused. I went to go see Batman versus Superman on Saturday, and I really liked it. I really, really liked it. But there are issues with this movie. There are problems, starting with the pacing at times and the way certain scenes are cut. Like sometimes there'll just be random scenes. It's just out of nowhere. Like this isn't a spoiler. It's in the trailer, so you don't have to worry about a thing. Where Clark is talking to his mother, like he's in full Superman. Like first it's one scene, and then it gets to this other scene where it's Clark, Superman, and his mother talking about how you don't owe this world a thing. You never did. And it lasts a few seconds, at least 30 seconds. And then immediately goes to another scene. And you're just like, wait, what? We were just there and now we're here. It's like, why was that there? Why was there no segue to that? It seems like there are some segues and there are just pieces of this movie missing. And now that I've found out that there is an extended version or a director's cut coming out in July on Blu-ray, that kind of pretty much tells me everything I need to know. That I think it's the Watchmen thing, where you see it and you watch it like, okay, you're like, okay, this movie's good. This is a good movie, but it just seems like there are things missing. And then you find out they're going to release another version with 30 more minutes of footage. And then with those 30 more minutes of footage, everything magically makes sense. I think that's what they're doing here. I think the studio wanted to make some money, so they were just like, "Oh, just chop out a whole 30 minutes, and then we'll release another version with the 30 minutes to make money." That is the only explanation as to why it felt kind of incoherent at times. But it's like it was only a few scenes of incoherence, other than the scene where he's talking to his mother, and there's one dream sequence that I didn't quite get it. Spoiler alert, like if you don't like spoilers, for the love of God, just mute this part. Just mute this part. But basically Bruce Wayne is having a nightmare. He's asleep, he falls asleep while he's looking at emails. I won't say what the emails are. He fell asleep after looking at emails, and he's having this dream. Uh, like it's this really surreal dream. Like this guy trapped in like white fire, and he's like, "Oh, Bruce, you're always right, man. You're always right, dude." And basically, like it's like I'm laughing now, but at the time it was like really weird. Like it was like one of those really weird scenes, where you can tell it's a dream because it's just so weird and it's so jarring. But other than that, I like the tone. Like the opening scene, um, was great. It was so great. I really loved the opening scene. There were a lot of scenes that were really well shot. I can understand how people can look at this movie like, oh, this movie seems a little hopeless and morose at times. I get it, but that's what I like about this movie a little bit. The biggest reason I like Batman vs Superman is because it's just not Marvel. It's just so fresh and different from what Marvel has been doing. As much as I like Marvel movies, it seems like, with the exception of Winter Soldier, it seems like they've been making more of the same thing over and over and over again. It's just more of the same. It's just, oh, we're a team and we make jokes, even though this is supposed to be a scene, it's supposed to be dramatic. We're just gonna make a whole bunch of fucking jokes. It's annoying. It got annoying really quickly after Jon Favreau stopped doing the Iron Man movies. Tony Stark just kind of became a clown and not a real character anymore. Well, you know, whatever. Getting away from that. The acting was great. Fucking Batfleck. Ugh! He was great. He was really good. Like that motherfucker looks great without a shirt on. Anyway, the performance. The performance. Let me get back to the performance. He nails being Bruce Wayne. He nails the brooding. He nails the physical aspect. He nails everything. Everything. Like, as much as I like Bale and Keaton and everything, they always had something missing. There was always like a few elements missing that kept them from being the perfect Batman. As much as I like them, but Affleck, he hits every mark and he hits them all perfectly. Henry Cavill as Superman, I've always liked. He's a good actor. I've always liked him, and the fact that he takes off his shirt in the movie does not hurt either. From the start, I've never been on board with Superman. Like, Superman was kind of like, hey, okay, it's Superman. He can do anything. The only thing that can kill him is like a deformed green Jolly Rancher. Oh, okay. But as soon as Man of Steel came out, I was on board. It was like, okay, This is a Superman I can get behind. Amy Adams is Lois Lane. She's always good. She's always good. I like Amy Adams. She was exactly what she was supposed to be. And I think you already know what's coming. You know what I'm about to say, right? Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Now, see, here's the fucked up thing about his performance. His performance was good, but the performance does not match the character he is playing. Like, okay, he's playing Lex Luthor, but he's acting like the Riddler. Like, through the whole fucking movie, he's like, oh, like he's just like, oh, TikTok, TikTok, Batman, TikTok, 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 Batman. Oh, it's just so like, TikTok or TikTok or the boat don't stop. Like, oh my god, it's just that's the best example I can give. Like, he was goofy. So I was sitting there in the theater like, man, if he was playing the Riddler, he'd be the shit. But no, he's playing Lex Luthor, and it's not working. It's not. I don't mind different renditions of characters, of already established characters. I do not mind that, but it's just, oh, like, stop fucking doing that. Like, the whole time you're just like, wow, you need to stop. Like, to be fair, there were moments of legitimate menace with Jesse Eisenberg. There were times where I was just like, oh, this motherfucker is crazy. He's crazy. But then there were times where it was like, dude, you need a timeout. You need some Ritalin. Like, you need to calm the fuck down. Calm down. Shut up. I think maybe they should tell him to tone it down the next time. That's all. And oh, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Oh, nigga, like that's a bad bitch right there. That's a bad bitch. I loved her. I loved her. As soon as she popped up in the final battle, I was like, oh. Yes. Jeremy Irons as Alfred. He's just um. What separates him from all the other Alfreds is that he's just so he's kind of pissy. You can kind of hear him clinking a glass of vodka behind Batman, just talking shit like, oh, I could have been fucking mad bitches, but I'm over here with this motherfucker. God, he's just always behind Bruce talking mad shit, and I like that. I like that. He was great. Not quite as good as Michael Caine, but give him time. I have to give him time because the movie wasn't about. If it was about Batman, we would have seen more of Alfred this time around. It's not. It's about Batman and Superman and their struggle and all that shit. Which leads me to my next comment on the movie. One of the biggest reasons critics are reaming this is because they thought this would be a knockdown, drag out fight between two superheroes. And that's not really what they got. What they got is just like two superheroes trying to deal with the world around them and just deal with the scrutiny that comes with being a superhero, and how their ideologies clash, and how they're gonna. And this movie is used to explain how these two people are going to work together later on, and how they're going to form this team in the Justice League. How they're going to form the Justice League, and how they're going to lead these people. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's why they call it Batman versus Superman. It's like one ideology versus the other ideology. That's what it's about. Metaphorical. But yeah, there is a fight at the end, but it's mostly about how these two characters are going to coexist and be friends later. Because if it was just a fight, if it was just them being assholes to each other for 2.5 hours, and it led to a fight, then it wouldn't really be a good setup now, would it? It'd just be two assholes fighting for 2.5 hours, and then, oh, look, now they're working together in the Justice League because we just need to make it work. That's what the movie's about at its heart. Two people with two different ideologies, two different ways of doing things, and in the end, they come to this understanding that they're not that different. They're they're basically they are bonded by similar struggles and similar pain and shit like that. I mean, there was one scene where it was like, damn, like Batman came to the realization that they're kind of similar people, and there's no reason for him to hate him. I think that was a great thing to say, instead of just mindless fucking fighting for the whole movie. I would have been disappointed if that was all it was. And that is my initial problem with what the critics are saying, because this is a good movie. Like there's too much good shit in this movie for it to be considered a bad movie. The only problem was that you can tell that it was edited and cut to shit. Like you can tell that the studio told him to cut stuff out. And this was not, I don't think this was a conscious decision by Zack Snyder. No way in hell. If I was to rate this movie, I would give it a solid 3 out of 5 stars. I think the critics are reaming it for the wrong reasons, and I think we just need to wait until that 3-hour version comes out on Blu-ray, because I think all of the questions that we need answered are in that DVD, are in that Blu-ray. So that's my review of the movie. If you like it, that's cool, and subscribe if you want, whatever.